any cyber threat group.
More than 20 nations are already developing computer attack programs. And every day, McPherson's team gathers new information on potential threats to America's cybersecurity.
In the future, we're going to need a lot more people to protect our infrastructure. We're going to need engineers. We're going to need people like me, researchers. It's always going to be an arms race. The good guys are going to figure out new and creative ways to use information technology for our economy and so forth, and the bad guys are always going to figure out ways to try and circumvent that technology.
Grandpa!
Polly, over here!
Grandpa! Grandpa!
That's your shark.
Gramps, you need to help me. I used your old trick, and then I just attached it to the shark, so we could fly across
With my old virus?
Gramps, Mom thinks it was you. They're looking for you. Gramps, please help me.
Paul, you didn't go online using your own computer, did you?
Yes.
You know, they'll find your data on the system just as soon as they reboot it.
Can you fix it?
You've crashed the entire network. To fix it, I'd have to access the Central City server. They've got more security than the Pentagon. There's only one thing we can do. Come on.
Bank robber or missing person, the city of the future will have intelligent surveillance systems that can track down anyone, anywhere, anytime. Across the city, data networks are collapsing.
The entire city is shut down. We need to seal up all the...
Only a few key sectors still function, thanks to separate networks that keep them virus-free.
Find him now. Bring him into custody.
Police are using thousands of surveillance cameras to search for the hacker.
Mixture of satellite and terrestrial cameras, okay?
Okay, start with the outskirts.
And go.
Nations around the world are installing millions of surveillance cameras to protect their citizens. And Great Britain is leading the way with 4.2 million surveillance cameras that can photograph each citizen 300 times a day. Now, that may sound excessive, but public acceptance rises every time they capture a terrorist or a child abductor. Now, these cameras have limitations. They can basically record, but they cannot identify. That's why computer scientists are now building the next generation of intelligent camera surveillance systems.
London's hundreds of thousands of surveillance cameras paid off in the summer of 2005 when video footage helped police track down terrorists who had bombed city buses. But even the world's best system has a blind spot. Each camera acts alone. There's no way to track a subject when he moves out of the range of one camera and into the range of another. So, Dr. Dimitrios Makris and his team at Kingston University are developing a computerized network of cameras that talk to each other.
Okay, can you see the cameras? They are around. Okay.
The software is designed to predict the path of a suspect, then alert the rest of the system to his probable course.
You
can see here how the person is being tracked by our software. The red box shows where the person is currently located. The black box shows where the person will soon be.
Okay, James, can you start it now? Thank you.
Makris tests the system.
You can go now.
The subject is tracked by camera 1. He walks out of view. But thanks to the computer program, camera 2 finds him, and then camera 3. The cameras are talking to each other. That's just the beginning. Now, let's up the ante. What if the cameras could not just track him, but identify him and pick him out of a data bank? Henning Daum and his team are on the verge of making this possible with an ingenious face recognition system.
With regular 2D images like these, the actual identification of a person is nearly impossible. Let's take this image as an example. The person is looking down and is lit from the side. In this picture, the same person is looking up and lit more strongly. It's very difficult to identify a person on the basis of these two images as the same one.
We need a new technique.
Ja, genau.
Daum starts with a conventional headshot. Then, he projects horizontal lines onto the face for 1/3 of a second. The shape of the head distorts the line pattern. And the computer uses the distortion to construct a virtual plaster cast, a 3D likeness. Once the likeness is entered into a database, the subject can be identified, regardless of camera angle or lighting conditions. So what's the trick?
Instead of using a normal 2D image like this one, we use the distance from the camera to create our own image of the face based on depth, much like a 3D mask. Then, if we have an existing mask of her face stored in our database, we compare the two by placing one into the other.
50 years from now, facial scanning may be perfected. But by then, surveillance cameras won't be the only game in town. We'll also have smaller, more sophisticated technologies called biometrics that identify people by their unique physical characteristics. The most familiar form is fingerprinting. It's been around for over 100 years. But newer technologies promise far more secure and sophisticated methods to identify people. Iris scanning, voice recognition, skin scans, instant DNA testing. 50 years from now, between intelligent surveillance cameras and biometric identification, fugitives will have no place to hide.
Bingo! Below Drive, Commissioner. Heading north.
Where's he going? Can you make a prediction?
System program predicts. Destination is...
Hall!
Municipal Archives.